Happy New Year, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. This is our first video of the year, and I'm so excited to be back because today we have our first market report of the year. These are the January numbers. Let's go. If you are new to the channel, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. As usual, in these market report videos, I cover three key metrics. That is going to be active inventory, average days to sell, and average sales price, in which I cover the four major counties of Tampa Bay. That is going to be Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, and Manatee counties. This data will reflect everything residential. So that's going to include single family, townhomes, condos, and even multifamily properties up to 4 units. Before we get into this, I do want to preface the video by saying I am a licensed agent in the state of Florida. So if you have real estate goals or questions about moving to Florida, especially the Tampa Bay area, I would be honored to earn your business and help you out. So I'm going to drop my contact information on screen so you can get in touch. But without further ado, let's jump into it. First on our list, as usual, is Hillsborough County with an active inventory of 6,006 properties, an increase from what we saw in December, taking an average of 57 days to sell and an average sales price of $463,161, both decreases from what we saw last month. Second, we have Pinellas County with an active inventory of 7,037 properties, an increase from what we saw in December, taking an average of 64 days to sell, another increase, and an average sales price of $497,046, a decrease from what we saw last month. Third is Pasco County with an active inventory of 4,306 properties, an increase from what we saw last month, taking an average of 64 days to sell, and an average sales price of $351,214, a decrease, both decreases from what we saw a month ago. Lastly, we have Manatee County with an active inventory of 4,664 properties, an increase from what we saw in December, taking an average of 78 days to sell, another increase, and an average sales price of $556,365, another decrease from what we saw at the end of last year. Now, in a nutshell, we can see that Hillsborough and Pasco County are following the same exact trend, but across all four counties, we're seeing a significant increase in inventory. That means the supply of homes are greater and the supply of buyers is less because it reflects in the average home value. We're seeing significant decreases in property values in Hillsborough County, decreases up to $50,000, and then Pinellas County, nearly $30,000 in decreases of home values. In my personal experience, ever since the turn of the new year, I've had a lot of buyer clients come off of the sideline for reasons I can't necessarily pinpoint. But I've heard a mix of things for reasons that they weren't entering the market before, and that is the presidential election, of course, the hurricanes we saw a few months ago in September, and interest rates are simply just too high. I must say that interest rates do seem to be the most common roadblock for most buyers trying to enter the market. As it stands today, it is the most difficult time to afford a home in the history of mankind. After the post-COVID migrations across the United States, property values were frighteningly inflated across the country. Since then, interest rates have really only gone up, and it's become increasingly difficult for buyers to afford homes where the interest rates have gone up, but the prices really haven't come down to reflect the interest rate. Typically, where interest rates go up, property values come down, and they flow inversely, whereas if property values go up, interest rates come down. But that really hasn't been the case. So unfortunately, buyers have had to pay the ultimate price of buying a very expensive home and paying a higher interest rate than we've been used to in the past 4 to 6 years. This is where negotiation tactics come into play. If you are a buyer, it's important that you seek out a strong agent who's going to negotiate on your behalf to maybe get some seller concessions to pay for closing costs, your down payment or part of it, or make sure all the necessary repairs are done prior to closing so you don't have to pay as much money out of pocket when you're entering your new home. On the seller side, I would say the exact same thing. You want to make sure you have enough cushion to, one, pay the buyer's agent to incentivize the showing and selling of your home to prospective buyers. Two, offering some kind of seller concession that will ultimately benefit the buyer. Even though you have to come a little more out of pocket, it's going to guarantee your success at the closing table. I would also recommend to sellers doing a thorough inspection of your home before it is listed on the market. That way you know everything that needs to be taken care of. You can take care of it prior to listing it, and that way a buyer can walk into the property knowing everything's been taken care of. The property truly is turnkey and move-in ready, and you won't have to deal with any hassle or negotiations after going under contract. Given what we've seen in recent years, I would still say the market is pretty balanced, but as the year progresses, I do anticipate moving more and more into a buyer's market where property values are going to come down and sellers are going to have to offer more concessions in order to sell their property. I think this will be a great year for buyers to enter the market, especially for first-time home buyers, and really get a great deal and pay as little money out of pocket as possible on your new home. I try and keep these short and sweet, so I hope I did a good job of that. But before I leave, I do want to say again that I am a licensed agent in the state of Florida, so if you have real estate goals or questions, I'll be honored to earn your real estate business. I'm going to drop my contact information again one more time on screen so you can get in touch. But with that being said, I'm going to end the video here, so if you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Peace.